Saturday the 15th of September is the day that we'll be getting married. From a little girl, I always wanted to have a 2-3 day wedding, an American kind of a big house. So what I've done is I've hired a house in Forlongley, and we're having a pre-wedding party on the Friday. We're having a barbecue. There's about 90 family and close friends. 25 of them will be staying at the house with me, and the others will be staying in a local hotel. So I've got live music, a band, it's got an outdoor swimming pool, just somewhere where people can chill out and have a garden party. Not too late, because obviously we've got a really early start Saturday morning. I think hair and makeup starts around 6 AM. It's called the High House, and that's in Forlongley, and that's where I'll be for the weekend. And then we'll be going to the Heart of England Conference Centre for our main reception. We have 2 little boys, so I'm looking forward to that. We've just sort of concreted our family, really. We've been together for almost 10 years. I'll have the same name as our boys, and it's just about us continuing our future together. We've known each other a long time, and yeah, just moving forward, really.
Hi, I'm Chris, I'm the best man. Toni, boy Toni, is my brother. I'm looking after him, making sure he actually gets here on time, just about, and that he goes through with it. It's going to be one of the happiest days of his life, and I'm really proud of him. But it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be, for me, one of the biggest weddings that I've been to. It's going to be amazing.
Today is the wedding morning. I'm feeling okay at the moment, probably a little bit emotional. We've got a couple of hours to go, and then I'll be at the church. There'll be lots of tears, particularly in about 45 minutes when the ceremony starts downstairs.
Hi, I'm Alex, this is Costa. With the musicians for today, I play the laudon, Costa plays the violin, and we sing for the blessing for the bride or the groom while the family come and they light incense and bless the bride and groom, so they can go on and have a wonderful marriage and a wonderful life, hopefully. And then we put the ribbon on them so they can have lots of babies as well. It's brilliant. God bless.
Very well said.
There won't be any plate smashing on the wedding day. That's quite a Greek tradition. We're more sort of Cypriot. The other traditions that we will be following, there's something called a stolisma, which is when the bride gets ready on the morning of the wedding day, and there's a ceremony where her family have a scarf and bless her with like burning incense, and there's a violinist, and that's really quite emotional. That's quite usual. And we'll also be having the mini dance where guests can participate in pinning money to us. It's normally close family, but they're the main traditions, and our entrance will be a little bit of a tradition, but more of our village, because the village that my dad's from in Cyprus is a Maronite village, and they have a slightly different way of entering, which is a particular type of instrument, and the family sort of bring the bride and groom onto the dance floor. After Toni proposed, I started looking at what type of wedding I wanted and did a lot of research on on the colours and the design and what I would like. And then after speaking to H and the team, we decided that the main reception would be done by H and Kieran, and we come up with some ideas together. Things like, I really like ceiling pieces and floral hanging from the ceilings, and then when I discussed it with H, we both had kind of that Lebanese inspiration in common, and then I started looking at my drinks reception, and in the beginning I wasn't too bothered about a cake, but then the cake actually becomes quite a big part of the whole decor, and everything had to tie in. And that's where it's been, really. So it's all been about flowers, lots of flowers. My house is covered in flowers. I could open a florist. As well as the team doing all my floral pieces. I've also done a lot myself, so my table arrangement. You have to pick a flower from a vase that's labelled A to Z, and you go from that, you find your name, Toni, you go to T, you pick the T, you put your name, and on the back of it will tell you seat number. I'm really looking forward to our big day on Saturday. There's been a lot of planning gone into it. I'm really looking forward to Toni's, my partner's, face, because he hasn't got a clue as to what's going on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it all coming together and just everybody really having a good time and having a good party.
To tell the truth, I'm a bit anxious, a little bit nervous, and excited all at the same time. To be honest, I can't really put it into words. We've been together a really long time, and we've been waiting nine plus years to see her in a wedding dress, and I love her millions, and I'm sure she's going to look absolutely beautiful. And
I chose to get married at St Chad's Cathedral. A, I'm Catholic, and B, it's close to my heart, as my parents got married there over 37 years ago. I was baptised there, and so was my brother, and our youngest son Isaac was also baptised there. I also know the priest, Canon Jerry, quite well, and it's not an everyday thing to get married at the cathedral. I've had to sacrifice some of my wants. I wanted a gospel choir, but it wasn't possible because of it being a Catholic cathedral. I've had to go along with some of the stipulations and rules that they've set. But it's a beautiful, beautiful church. We have something called a Stefania, which are crowns put on the head of the bride and groom, which represents them both being united. Although we're getting married in a Catholic church, because I'm Catholic and not Orthodox, the priest will still do the Stefania for us. So we've had some sort of pearl crowns made, and they will you walk round the church, and the best man sort of crosses them over, and it's just about two being united. That's quite a nice tradition. My favourite part of the day was the church and walking down the aisle, and for me just sort of being at the top of the altar and looking down where my bridesmaids and my boys were, and just looking at how everything comes together, because it was the first time really experimenting with colour. I was a little bit nervous of blending all colours together, and for me it was actually, I was satisfied that I did the job that I intended to do, and it was successful. When I started looking at weddings and the amount of choices and colours and designs, and although I really love the whites and the neutrals and the pastels, I've always loved bright colours, and I just thought that it would express my personality, that vibrancy. So specifically the cerises and the hot pinks and the purples, just to really be bold. And when I started looking at weddings for an inspiration, Lebanese weddings has kind of been my starting place, and really loved the vibrancy that a lot of the weddings now use. So that was my inspiration really, and that's what I brought to to H and the team. I think the use of flowers has been the favourite detail and the colour of the flowers. So I've been quite specific in the choice of colour and the tones, and just making it something a little bit different than some of the other weddings that I've been to and experienced over the last few years. When I walked into the room, I had sort of a gasp of amazement that everything had sort of come together, and it was the first time that I'd seen all the colours, all the flowers. I actually walked in with my chief bridesmaid and we had a sneak because I would have been walking down the stairs and I wouldn't have actually got to see anything before the guests. So we snuck in, and just seeing the look of amazement on her face as well because she hadn't got a clue. Yeah, it was amazing. The head table was probably the main focal point for everybody. It had the cake hanging from the ceiling right in front of it, and I think it was the entourage of colour and the greenery combined with the sort of silver to break it up just gave everybody a real focal point, and it blended everything in from the tables to the dance floor. It just gave us you know, a focal point, us two little ones sitting at the top. But actually, it just made everyone want to come, and people were having their photographs taken by it. They were all coming up to the stage to have a look at what's behind it. And I think everybody just commented they hadn't seen anything like that before.
As our bride and groom are going to come down this magnificent staircase, and they want all their close ones and their loved ones around them, so please do make your way onto the dance floor. But we're going to hype you up one more time. Are you ready for our bride and groom?
Tony was mesmerised by the day. He hadn't got a clue really to the build-up of the wedding. He'd saw colour and he'd saw lots of flowers around our home, but he hadn't really got a clue as to what he was going to expect. So when we got to the balcony at the venue and he looked down, he was like, oh my God. And he was really kind of, that just gave him really an upbeat feeling. And we had then the band introduced us and we walked down. And from then on in, he just sort of, he was very much in awe. He was particularly in awe of our cake, which he didn't have a clue or expect to be coming down from the ceiling. It took me quite a long time to find the function band. My brother actually found them. My brother lives in St Albans and he just put a shout out on his Facebook page just to see if anybody had any good recommendations for bands. I'd spoken to quite a lot on the telephone, and it was quite a big task actually. I was quite daunted by A, the cost of bands, but B, how big you can actually have a band for your wedding, you know, 21 pieces and 15 pieces. The guests haven't stopped texting me, putting posts on social media, thanking us really for such a wonderful experience. They've all said it was better than their own weddings and the best weddings that I've been to, which is really complimentary. And they just had an amazing evening and didn't really want the night to end. So as soon as sort of 12 o'clock come, most of us were like, can it continue, can it go on? We all did retire home to our beds, but they would have stayed there partying for a few more hours. I think the guests, a lot of them will have quite a high expectation just because I've planned the two boys' christenings were both themed. So one was a Jungle Book and one was a circus theme that had fire breathers and big sweet trees, and every table had its own sweet tree and so there is an expectation that I'm going to pull something out of the bag, and them just knowing me that unfortunately I do push myself, I don't really settle, and if I want something I do usually get it or try to get it, even if it puts myself under quite a lot of stress getting there. heard about Matharus from a friend actually at work who got married last year, and her friend has done a little bit of work with H and the team. She's actually a Greek lady and put me in touch and just gave the number to me, and I phoned H, had a look online, had a look on Facebook and Instagram, and just took it from there really to find out more. I would definitely recommend Matharus Group, and actually we've got a couple of family weddings coming up, so who knows.